Is it just me, or is the International Booker Prize Longlist like really depressing this year? Hi, my name is Sarah Freshly and welcome to Freshly Read Books. Like, I don't mean sad, I mean like heart-wrenching. Like, reach up into your soul and just like tugging downward the entire time you're reading. I don't know if it's the books that I've been reading from the long list. Like, I didn't necessarily feel that way about like Books of Jacob and Cursed Bunny, the books that I've already done reviews on, but the ones that I've been reading and then just refreshing my memory for this book so that I could film this review was like, oh yeah, I remember just how depressing it was to read this. Which I haven't said, but you've probably guessed based on the title of this video and the thumbnail, that this review is for Heaven by Mieko Kawakami, translated by Sam Bett and David Boyd. So the protagonist of this book is this young boy, or I guess like pre-teenage years, who is relentlessly bullied in school. At the beginning of the book, we see this boy receive a letter from Kojima, who's another one of his classmates. Kojima is also heavily bullied and reaches out to the protagonist because she believes that he will be able to understand her and she will be able to understand him in a way that others couldn't because of this shared connection through being bullied so heavily. A lot of their correspondence is through these letters, particularly because they don't want to be seen together by the other classmates because they know that the bullying could get worse, intensify, or even just shift into like a different way to go about bullying. Basically, if they are seen caring about anything or anyone, then that could be used against them to further the bullying. So that's generally what this book is about. These two characters, Kojima and our protagonist, who is unnamed, by the way. And I think that the expectation going into this book is that it would purely be about the relationship between these two. And it is, but it's also about more than that, or it just does it in an unexpected way. I'm gonna try to do my best to explain. I think typically when we get stories that are about kids that are being bullied in school, the way that the kids kind of react or view the bullying is similar to how one would view it as a complete outsider. Like, the kids are who they are, but then they also get bullied. But this book recognizes how much the bullying is playing a part in who these kids are. Like, we've read stories about people that have been bullied in the past and they say things like how it made them who they are, how it made them stronger, or maybe it made them more empathetic. But through this book, you don't get that benefit of hindsight. You're in it right now. You are seeing the personality and the character behind these kids and how they are being impacted by the actions of others in the present moment. Not only that, but these kids are human too. Kojima and the protagonist are human. And not only that, they are teenagers. They are just kind of growing into themselves for the first time. And they have and share these views throughout the story, and many of them are very flawed on what bullying is and what it means to them and to the people that are bullying. Like, they don't have this perfect outsider view of what this is because they can't, because they're currently in it. But also the way that they think about it, the way that they talk about it is in a way that is so sure that they are right about the way that they are seeing it, that this is just something that they know about the world. Even though a lot of their ideas I would very much disagree with. Kojima in particular is very outspoken about her ideas of bullying, of philosophy of the world, and I often found myself disagreeing with her. But I appreciated the way that it was portrayed and this different look on it that I don't think any book that I've ever read has given. And seeing her view versus the protagonist's view, and then you also get to see at one point a perspective from one of the bullies. It's just very fascinating because I think that most people see bullying the same way once they are fully removed from that school setting. And I mean specifically like schoolyard bullying. And while I think that this bullying can continue later into life, there's something very unique about school bullying, about the bullying that happens at that age, that I think adults tend to all have like the same type of view on, but then you get to see these different kids and all of their perspectives on what's happening right in that present moment. You're not looking back on it from the future, you're in it. Overall, it's a very frustrating and depressing read, but it's also really good. The way this book can tell you so much about Kojima from another person's perspective and without her even being a part of all of the book. The way it has these two characters experiencing the same trauma and interpreting some of it in the same way and some of it completely differently. The way that the protagonist's family takes a back seat until like the second half of the book, and then all of a sudden you get that insight as well. Just all of it, all of these things that I didn't expect out of this book, but I think added so much to it. So with that, do the Booker Frog and I recommend this book? And yes, we do. I feel like that was probably pretty clear, probably before I even started filming this review. I've talked about this book previously on my channel and how much I liked it, so I think it's pretty obvious that I would say that others should read it as well. However, I will say that the bullying does get really, really intense in this book, and I found it hard to stomach in some areas, and I wouldn't count bullying as a trigger of mine. So I just want to put that out there. But this book is fantastic and has great writing, but is still very readable. I think that that's probably a credit to both Kawakami and also the two translators for this book. They all did a phenomenal job. Let me know what you thought of this book in the comments, and then also if you could let me know which book you are most excited to see me review from the International Booker Longlist. I have been reading faster than I have been getting these reviews out, so by knowing which ones you are excited to see reviewed, then it can help me prioritize the order in which I actually do the reviews. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. Subscribe so that you know when the next review is here, and I'll see you then. Bye.